Welcome back, everybody. So my last video, I was going to do two people, but it ended up going a little longer. So I'm going to do my friend Beth from Yucaipa now. I've known Beth for a while. She's been a client of mine for some time, and now I moved away. But I started doing these iris analysis, and so she asked me to do hers, and so I'm going to do hers for her. And she writes to me this. She says, "Hi, Linda. I hope you're doing well. I've been going through a lot lately. I've had all kinds of tests, and everything comes back normal while I keep feeling horrible. My main issue started last year around this time with bilateral knee pain. At night, the pain gets worse with tingling, and it feels like I'm on fire. I got better for a while, and now it's back, and I'm much worse. I have pain in my ankles, neck, left shoulder, and even around my ribs at times. I got checked for gluten allergy, autoimmune disease, complete blood panels, all normal." Okay, so you're going to find that blood panels and all that will not show you as quickly as an iris analysis will of what's going on in your body. And that's what's really cool about iris analysis, because it's a reflex that is happening in your eyes in real time. And most of the time, lab work, when you're looking at functional, you're really bad by the time a lab will show what's going on, because you're gonna see in your eyes all these things that you're pointing out here. You're gonna see that it's actually there is something going on there, and part of it is your nervous system. All normal. I'm not sleeping well at night. The pain and tingling wakes me up. I'm 61 years old, post-menopausal, and I feel like I'm falling apart. I take probiotics, calcium, D3 and K, garlic, sometimes to lower cholesterol, and krill oil for heart support. What do you think?" I was thinking, anyway, and then I sent her a thing. I said, "It sounds neurological." Okay, she said, and she responded back to me and said she had a nerve conduction test and it was negative. However, okay, my friend Beth she's another girl with brown eyes, and so the pictures she sent me were pretty good. Again, I encourage you guys to get yourself a chart or to find one online that has these charts. You can find pictures of them and print them out yourself. Okay, I like mine because it's professional and I can use it repeatedly and repeatedly. And you can watch your irises like I was showing you before. I use a pin light because it's a little gentler on the eyes, but you can use a little keychain light too. And you can watch your eyes. If you can take a picture of them, it's better. Don't use a Apple phone because they don't take very good iris pictures, but you could also just get up really close in the mirror and shines a light in your eyes where it'll light up the details. You don't want to go right in and real close, but this one's a little bright, so you want to keep it away, and you don't want to keep it on there too long because you don't want to burn your iris, right? But you can look and you can go really close to the mirror in your bathroom, and you can see these little details. Now, your iris, the fibers, you should be able to see fibers. So if you can't see fibers in the picture, even though it's a brown eye, I should be able to see some fibers. Since I can't see fibers, I'm guessing, I have to guess at a certain thing, but that she is filled, that her lymph system is just really filled, and it's so thick that it's covering the fibers of her eyes. Okay, but anyway, you want to be able to see fibers, and the fibers, for a good constitution, fibers are close together and they're all evenly spaced, okay? And when you see brokenness or you see dark spots in certain areas, or you see holes, that means that that's a weakness. And the darker the hole, the worse the weakness, okay? And so we're going to take a look at her eyes. And what I found was a lot of things that corresponded to her symptoms, right? Okay, so let's look at Beth's eye. And Beth, you can look at these yourself and get you a little picture here, and you'll see that what I'm saying is you do have some neurological issues, but you also have some your cells in different parts of your body have deteriorated, and that's what's causing pain. And what causes that? Okay, well, there's only two sides of chemistry, okay? And I know that the allopathic medical community likes to make everything so complicated, but if you keep it simple, just keep it simple, and what you want is an alkaline body. Your blood will always be around 7.4. It's going to steal from your bones. It's going to steal from everything else to keep it that, because you will die immediately if your blood doesn't keep it there. But the rest of your tissues, where your interstitial fluid is, where your lymphatic system sends out immune response and eats up, that's where your macrophages are. What those do is they go in, they eat dead skin cells, or dead cells, particles and proteins and things like that, gobble them up. And they're supposed to eat them up and go out the kidneys and the bladder, okay? They don't go back through the blood. They filter out through the kidneys. And I know that that's not what allopathy teaches, but it's true. And I only know that because I have learned through experience that that's what is what happens. And the way you know whether you're filtering out these poisons, okay, because that's what they are, they're acids. Acids burn and they destruct, is you have to urinate in a jar. This is more, it's better than a test, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, it's more accurate than a urine test. Because a urine test, they want it to be clear, right? Well, if you're supposed to be, your lymph system is supposed to be getting rid of waste, why would your urine be clear? Does it even make any sense? No, it doesn't. So sometimes, there's a disconnect from what we're told. And because we think the people in the labs, or these, the pharmaceutical companies who are making a lot of money off the medicines that they sell you, that they're so much smarter. Okay, well, let's just make it simple. Your lymphatic system drains out of your skin and out of your kidneys. Your skin is your third kidney. Okay, so if you don't have any sediment, so what you do is you urinate in a jar, clear jar, put a lid on it. This will be your first urine of the morning, okay? Urinate in it. If you're not filtering, wait a couple of days, see if there's sediment. The more, the better, okay? Thick is great, because that means all that gunked up stuff inside the cells, around that tissue, the things that are burning, the acids that destruct our cells, is coming out. If there's nothing in there, then what's happening is when you eat foods, there's some foods that create an alkaline environment, some foods that create an acid environment. And when we have so much acid ash environment, it burns us. It destroys tissues. It causes us to be stiff and tight and achy and hurting. So we have to do opposite of what got us there in the first place. And that is, you have to quit eating foods that create the acid environment. And that's your meats, and that's your grains, and that's your legumes, and that is anything that is cooked or processed. And I'm sorry to say that. I know that's very radical, but it's the truth. And the only way to reverse that is to quit eating that stuff and start eating uncooked fruits and vegetables. Your fruits are your very best because your fruits have the most electricity in them and they're more energizing. And when you have a neurological issue, you need to be 100% fruits because vegetables won't fix it. There's not enough electrical conduction in vegetables. Okay, they all have megahertz. They can be measured by megahertz, and your fruits are twice as strong as vegetables are in the electrical megahertz, the energy waves. So anytime you have a nervous system problem, you want to be 100% fruit because it's the only thing that can pull you out of that. Okay, now we're going to look at your eyes, and I'm going to show you what I've seen. All right, so let's see. This is, just remember that everything you're seeing here is backwards. Okay, so this is the right eye up here. The top is the right eye. And we're going to look at everything that goes across the top here. So around the dark spot, you see that little circle. That's your digestion. Okay, here's the transverse colon. Let's see, this would be the ascending colon and the descending colon. And it looks different on your screen because it's backwards. But everything that's connected to the transverse colon will go up into the brain area because when the baby is developing in the mother's womb, the first part of the development is the digestive system. Okay, and so it's intimately connected to the brain. And when you get congested in the digestive system, and whether that be candida, which I know from my history with you that there's a high chance that you are filled with candida. It will go into the brain, and then it goes into the body, and it's a fungus, right? So we have to clean that out. Anyway, so let's look at this. So the very top part, see this really dark spot, right? Let me get over here. Right, I believe it's right there. I can't hardly tell. That is the cerebellum. Cerebellum and the medulla. Okay, so the cerebellum is the back portion of your brain, and then the medulla is the part that connects the brain to the rest of your nervous system, your spine. Okay, so when you have dark spots like that, I can't tell where it's at, but you can. It is right, this dark spot right here. Okay, you're going to have neurological issues because that's part of your central nervous system. Okay, and that's right behind your neck. So if that's deteriorating, it's going to affect your neck. But if you also look at right here, this other dark spot, that does represent the neck area. So you have some deterioration there too, the cervical, all this neck part, okay? This dark spot right here is your thyroid area, okay? That's all deteriorated tissue. And up in here, all this area up in here is your forehead, your eyes, your sinuses. Okay, so you probably having sinus headaches and things like that too, I would assume. Right here, liver, gallbladder. See that ring around your eyes? That's your cholesterol ring. Liver, gallbladder, you have to support that. Okay, my favorite herb is milk thistle. And so what you need to do is go to your right side, and it looks like my left on the video, but this is my right side. a push under there. Okay, so you're probably a little sore. Even if you're not, you still need support there because I can see it in the iris. Then right under here, closer to this part of your ribs, is where the gallbladder is. Now, if you poke in there and it hurts, you need some bile salts. Okay, not real expensive, but you'll just take one or two, probably like one or two, okay, depending on how you feel. What you do is you take one, and then later in the day you feel in there, if it's still hurting you, you take another one. And you take as many as you need until that quits hurting, okay? And until you can get your liver healthy again, you're going to need to take some milk thistle and some bile salts, okay? Now you can make, hey, why not, if you don't want to pay for milk thistle, or, I know for some people it's hard because most people need a lot of herbs. Most people are very far gone because people have been eating genetically modified food and processed food and animals that have been fed, wrong and not able to graze and given their antibiotics and things like that. So, this has been generations of people now. It's not just because you've been doing it, but your mother probably did it, and lots of history of, I know my mother did. It was when it was first starting, the boxed biscuits and things like that started getting popular. And so of course everybody's going to go on that, and because it's convenient. But now we're seeing the results of all this convenience, okay? Okay, so let's see, what else do we have here? Liver, gallbladder, oh, right in here, that's your hand area. Okay, so you may have, so this is the right eye, so this would be the right side. So you might be, maybe you're not feeling it now, but you may start feeling that you're having some issues with your right hand. Your kidney area is darkened, so we need to support that. We've got to get your kidneys and your adrenal glands. Your adrenal glands sit right on top of your kidneys. Okay, and they are also involved, the adrenal glands are involved in sending neurotransmitters out, okay? They're also involved in hormone production, okay? So once our ovaries quit producing as much, then we rely more on our adrenal glands to help us make sex hormones. So the adrenal glands sit right on top of the kidneys, and they're connected intimately, so you need both of them to be working. And supporting the adrenal glands will help in so many areas. Blood sugar metabolism, they help you metabolize minerals and send out neurotransmitters. It's involved in blood pressure, and it also helps the kidneys. So that's important. Those two work together, so we'll support both of those. Let's see, what else did I have? So the forehead, the eye area, and the jaw. Oh yeah, right here. You said you were having, this is your rib area, okay? Ribs, maybe the lower breast area, but the rib area. So I just encourage you to take your pictures and compare them yourself so that you can see what I'm saying, all right? And then this is the left eye. So the right eye is the right side of the body, the left eye is the left side of the body. Okay, so you have, again, temple forehead area. Your pituitary, okay, this is pituitary and hypothalamus area. It goes up into the hypothalamus, so you probably need support on both of those, because without those functioning, then none of your hormones are going to function. And I know we've talked about your pituitary before, and I don't think you needed hypothalamus at that time, and I think what has happened is it's been just getting worse. And so now it's up into the hypothalamus area. And the hypothalamus and pituitary up in the brain, what they do is they're a feedback system for the whole hormone thing. So that's your thyroid, your ovaries, your adrenal glands, all of that. And all those things are involved in your metabolism. And, you know, once your metabolism is involved in your digestive system and your blood pressure, and so everything works together. Okay, so right here we've got your kidneys and your adrenals, and really, this is which eye? The left eye, so the left side. And it'd be interesting to see if you take your blood pressure on one side of your body, it's different than the other side. Partly because your heart's over there, but mostly because you have two kidneys, right? And one kidney runs the right side, and one kidney runs the left side. Okay. So, and then right here, this little dark area is where the sigmoid flexure is, where your descending colon goes into the rectum. Okay, so it's where the descending colon meets the rectum. It looks like it's a little deteriorated there. You'll need some digestive support. And like I said, I can't really see the fibers, and so it's looking to me like you're just full of a lot of lymph. And I can see right in here, see the white spots? That is that is the lymphatic system. And the more that you see piled on, like if you look in your mirror up close, you can see if there's like a thick layer of, I don't know how to explain it. You should be able to see the fibers. And so if you can't, and there's like a thick layer of something like sitting on top of them, over them, that's lymph. And that's stagnation. And that's all stuff that needs to come out. Okay, let's see, what else do we have? Oh, here's your knee. Let's see. I think as I'm looking at your right eye too, even though I didn't mark it because it's kind of shaded right there, it looks like your whole leg, from your hip down is dark. And on the left side, mostly the knee area. Okay, your growing area has some issues. Now, and a lot of pancreas. And then the solar plexus. Now, the solar plexus is right in this area, okay? And that's nervous system also. And that connects like your ganglia, your nervous system, up to the brain, and it connects with all the different digestive issues and things. And so you're showing that you need some support there. So you should probably rub that and just get some energy going in there, okay? Another thing that people can do if you're constipated and you haven't gone to the bathroom in a long time, your bowels, sometimes people's nervous system is so low that their bowels will not even move, okay? Because that's an autonomic nervous system function. And you have to get the acids out. Obviously, start getting some good nutrition in there. Your fruits, grapes are the best. Grapes. Darker the better. And if you can do a 30-day grape fast to get you going, that would be awesome. But anyway, massaging that and trying to get some energy and some stimulation, and that will sometimes get a bowel movement going. But to do that and get that solar plexus, rub the solar plexus and get the energy flowing through there, okay? Growing area, sigmoid, pancreas, solar plexus. What is this? Oh, and on this side, your ribs and your lower breast area again. Okay. Your inner ear, your sinuses, your pituitary, your bladder, and then the lower back area. So your whole lower back down to your bones and your hips, okay? So, and cervical, let's see, no, what is that? This is the left eye. Okay, yeah, that's the solar plexus area there. So anyway, so you have a lot of work. You can do it though, okay? It's just how bad do you want to do it? Okay, and I know your personality, and I know that you don't really like to take a lot of supplements and things. There's some things you can do on your own. Like you can grow your own milk thistle, even in the wintertime. Just like people grow pot in a closet, put a light and a pot, and grow it in there. You just need certain temperature, good nutrients, light, and it'll grow. Okay, same thing with any other new herb that you might need. Oregano. You can do oregano. You can do olive leaf. Okay, and so some of the things you can do, well, when it comes to milk thistle, the active ingredient is in the seeds, okay? But there's active ingredients in the leaves and the stems too. So if you wanted to do your own, there's different ways you can do it. I like to do it with glycerin because I don't really like the taste of alcohol. So alcohol might pull out just a little bit more, but to me, it's not worth it. So if you get some very good vegetable glycerin, you can do 1 part to 4 parts of distilled water of this, and then put it like in an 8-ounce jar, and you can take anywhere between 1 to 4 ounces of your herb. Now when it comes to milk thistle, like I said, it's in the seed, so you would want to make sure it's all macerated. You could put it in a food processor or whatever, but the seeds need to be cut up and smashed so that the active ingredient, the silymarin, I think is what it's called. I can't remember. But anyway, and then what you do is you put it in a jar, something glass. You don't want to put it in plastic or metal. You want to put it in a glass jar, and preferably a dark brown one if you can find it. And you put it in there and you shake it. You put it inside the cupboard, in a closed cupboard. And every day you get it out and you shake it for a couple of weeks. And after a few weeks, you've got your tincture. Okay, you could strain it, strain all the excess stuff out of it, and then just use the glycerin water, and there's your tincture. That's what you get in those little bottles that we buy from the health food store. Okay, that's exactly what it is, unless it's made from alcohol. Okay. Another thing is dandelions. Dandelions are very good for the bladder. And you can pick dandelions from your yard. Just you don't want them to be something that has been sprayed with pesticides or anything. Take them out. The root is what you really want, but just take the whole thing, rinse it off really good, put it in a food processor and make yourself a tea, or you can make your own tincture with it. Just there's different things you can do, and alfalfa grass, grow your own. Eat it every day. Put it in with some berries or something, and alfalfa is very alkalizing, and it's got a lot of minerals in it. So you've got to clean your gut. Okay, we got to get all the candida out of there, clean the sides of it, and so you can start getting make sure we get your nutrients. You need to support your kidneys and your adrenal glands. need to support your pituitary and your thyroid and your hypothalamus. So, and that's going to be supporting the ovary and the female hormones at the same time. And then some brain tissue, some glandular that has brain in it would be very helpful for the nervous system. And then you need herbs that'll support the nervous system. So you have to get out, start eating better, get out the acids. That's the only way to do it. And it's the hard way to do it, but it's simple. You have to get the acids out of the body so that the body can repair, and you won't be able to repair. Now you might feel a little better if you're just taking herbs or you're just taking some glandulars, because what's happening is they are supporting your body, and they're taking place of what the parts of your body that aren't working as well. So they're actually doing the job. But ultimately, what you want to do is repair your own. And so the only way to do that is to reverse what you've been doing that's causing the damage, and that's eating foods that cause acid ash. So basically what acid ash is when you're like a car. Okay, your car, you put in fuel and it burns and exhaust comes out. Okay, when you burn fuel, it creates an exhaust or some kind of an ash. Well, that's the same way with our body. Our bodies create energy. It's called the Krebs cycle. And at the end of it, it leaves an ash. Okay, it's what's left over from that energy production. And depending on what you put in there and what kind of foods and how your body reacts, because everybody's a little different. Some people have really strong constitutions. Not me. Okay, I've had every single thing that you can think of, which is why I'm in this business, because I wanted to feel good. Okay, I got tired of being on the couch with pain. All right, so you have to get that ash out of your body, and that comes out through the kidneys. Okay, now I want to just suggest one other thing to you, and I know you're very conservative, but I'll tell you what will help you sleep probably better than anything is some cannabis. And I'm not talking about smoking it or being high during the day. I'm just talking about you can get a tincture, or you can buy it in a tincture, or you can buy what's called Rick Simpson oil, or you can make your own. It's very easy to do, okay? And then you just take about half the size of a grain of rice before you go to bed. You don't want to go any more than that because you might get sick. I was making some one time when I was living in California, and it was had never done it before. It was all a project for me. And I was licking my fingers while I was making this, not thinking about it. I'm like, that's what I do when I cook, right? I taste what I'm eating. Oh my goodness, I got way too much in my system, and I was sick as a dog. Okay, nobody has ever died from cannabis. But I tell you what, I slept so good. You're not high, okay? You're sleeping, and your body is able to repair, and you're able to get a good night's sleep. And besides that, a lot of the properties in cannabis are cancer killing. THC kills brain cancer, okay? And then there you have the essential oils that's in there, all the green, which is alkalizing in your body and helps with pain. So what it does is it goes into those receptors and fills those receptors and gives you a good feeling rather than a feeling of pain. And you will probably get a really good night's sleep if you're open to that. You're not high because you're asleep. So it's just a suggestion, and I hope you enjoyed this. I will send you some recommendations, and I'll do my best to keep it as simple as I can and as cost effective, but I can only do what I can do because you need a lot of support. Okay, my friend? I hope you feel better. Have a good one.